the amazing TV show for LGBT community from all around the world.
I'm from London, from England.
I am from Hawaii.
I'm originally from Dominican Republic.
I'm from sunny South Africa.
Sharing their journey of finding and identifying themselves.
And it can get very, very sad and lonely.
I got divorced. The first few years were really difficult.
Sharing regrets and happiness, empathy, and the connection of LGBT community for equality and love. Come out, step into the light.
Welcome to the show. Come out, step into the light. I'm Kwon.
And I'm Alushka.
Welcome our guest today.
Yay! Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I have no idea who you are. What's your name?
All right, my name is Parker. I come from Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. I'm a teacher in Vietnam, and I've lived here exactly 1 year. I mean, some people are versatile, some people like both. I don't particularly enjoy it. I've done it a few times because I'm not, well, I am selfish, but I'm not that selfish. Lots of people like daddy and son. Some people want to be, I take care of myself as well. I take PrEP. I do take PrEP.
Oh, what's PrEP? Cool.
It's a pill that you take every day, and it puts you at about 99% chance that you could not develop HIV. You could not develop an HIV infection.
What made you come to Vietnam?
Well, previously I lived in China, but I chose to leave and I went to Thailand. And I quite like that as well. Very fun, lots of good beaches, lots of good weather. For whatever reason, I decided to leave that as well. And went back to America, thought I would try to get a normal 9-to-5 job. But I really enjoy teaching and I love living abroad. And I wanted to try Vietnam. And actually, it's been the best experience I've had living abroad, as well as the career that I've chosen and teaching and the wonderful students that I have.
Hey, I've got another teacher here.
Yeah, so many teachers.
I love it. It's every day I wake up and I'm excited and I'm happy and I get to see these tiny little people who are also excited to see Teacher Parker. And I walk in the room and they so cute. Yeah, it makes getting out of bed at 5:45 in the morning a lot easier. Even if they're tired, even if they cry, even if they are sad to lose the games that we play, they're happy to see me and it's a big ego boost to me. Yeah.
So, how is your life during 1 year in Vietnam?
It's been wonderful so far. I love the nice hot weather here. It's quite similar to the weather I'm used to at home. I don't deal with cold weather. I don't like it.
And like
Saigon, Saigon's perfect for it. It's absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Have you been to any other cities in Vietnam?
I spent 1 month in Hanoi, and I've done little trips here and there to Vung Tau, and I visited the Mekong Delta, and that was wonderful. But actually, I work quite a lot. So I still got lots of places I want to go in Vietnam, Sapa and Halong Bay and Da Nang and all the other places people want to go. But for now, I'm quite busy with my teaching schedule and just my life in Saigon. It's quite easy to have something to do all the time in Saigon. There's plenty of people and bars and restaurants and artistic activities and endeavors that you can get into.
I feel that, like, I feel Saigon is like just this pool of creativity, and if there's something that you enjoy, you can explore that thing here.
Okay, I want to know about your childhood. When did you notice that you were different from the other boys?
This is a great question. I think the earliest memory, I have two memories that really stick out. One, I remember watching a kids' TV network when I was a little boy, and they had advertisements for like toy trucks and sort of gendered toys, like toys for boys and toys for girls. And I remember, I suppose I had toy trucks and I enjoyed those things, but I also really interested in the dolls. I remember asking my mother, can I get one of those? So I think that they just felt a little uncomfortable and they said, no, we're not gonna do that. And I also remember being from a religious family. We had Christmas play, I can't remember the word for it, but the Christmas play. And they said, what role do you want to play? Do you want to play Joseph or Mary or the baby Jesus, or what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be the archangel, right?
Oh yeah.
And angels are seen as being feminine. And maybe that's why I was attracted to it. But they said, well, it's kind of a girl's role. And I don't remember who this was, but it was some other mother said, well, you know, actually the Archangel Gabriel, there's lots of, in the Bible it talks about lots of male angels. In fact, there's not that many female angels mentioned. It's just that we think of these things with wings as being very feminine. And sure enough, I was the angel. I got to be the angel in the play. It was wonderful. I don't remember, they didn't put me, I don't think they had the budget to put me like on strings and fly me around.
So when you were in school, your friends knew that you're gay?
I don't know about elementary school or primary school. Certainly by later middle school, I had kind of put my foot down. I'm not doing sports anymore. Lots of gay people do play sports, and it's fine. In fact, there's even like the gay games where there's lots of gay athletes and so forth. But by that time, I just said, I'm not interested in this. I'm more interested in theater. I'm more interested in art. Art was really where I sort of ended up channeling my energy. I remember I had such a good group of friends, especially in high school, who gave me the space to come out at my own time, at my own pace. I ended up not really sort of fully coming out until sort of the end of high school, and then I didn't really blossom or bloom until I got to university, because you're away from your family. Not everyone is away from their family at university, but I was. And that's where I could express myself fully. And
So you never expressed yourself in school, and you never really expressed yourself at home as being gay.
right, and I certainly had gay interests. My parents knew. They at one point asked me. That's sort of the crux of my coming out story.
What was
is
that?
They said, oh well, they, you know, you can get on there, www, type it in. Forgot to hit the erase. And my dad said, look, clearly you're looking at these websites. You know, I think it was disconcerting to him at the time because he was being somewhat religious, being somewhat masculine. There's a set path that every parent in the world thinks that they have for their kid, even if they say that they don't. They say, well, we just want our kid to be who they are. Happy. And at that time, I think they were not terribly homophobic, but they were uncomfortable and uneasy. And especially there are, you know, I'm aware there are passages in the Bible, in their religion, that says man shall not lay with man. And it's still been very difficult for them to accept it or reconcile it because they have gay friends. My mother's talked about how she had a gay boss who was so wonderful to her. But it's a whole other thing when you have a gay child.
Okay, so in the memories from 11 to 15, was there anything special that happened?
You mean with another person?
Yeah.
No,
anything special?
in fact, I'll tell you this. I, for a long time, didn't do anything with anyone else. And I'll tell you the reason why. This is like a big part of the arc of my story, is my defense mechanism for feeling different, for feeling not only, I like to say that I'm queer. I'm not only gay or homosexual, but queer to a lot of things in life. And I feel a bit different in a lot of different ways, not just who I want to sleep with or love. Some people channel that into their academics. Some people channel it into art or sports. I became very introverted and also gained quite a lot of weight. I became very obese.
Look good now.
Thank you. You can see a bit of, there's a little pudge here, but
I can't see.
It's actually loose skin. So about the time of like 10 or 11 until I was 23 or 4, about 150, 160 kilograms.
That is big. Look at you.
Yeah.
So how can you lose your weight?
I had to have professional help. I had part of my stomach removed. So a normal stomach looks like that, and it can hold quite a lot of food, right? So my stomach kind of looks like that.
Okay.
So I only eat just bits of food.
Okay.
And it's helped me keep my weight down.
Okay.
But is it make bad affection to your health?
It can be. I lost weight incredibly rapidly. I lost 70 kilo in 1 year. I did so under a doctor's watch. And that's how you should do it. Sort of negative side effects is I do have like loose skin. So, I mean, you can't really see here, but I've got like a bit under here, and a bit on my tummy, and a bit in other places where you can see that my body has kind of pancaked out after having sort of gained so much weight and then slimmed down.
Okay. And how does that make you feel? Like, you feel bad about it?
I mean, it's given me quite a lot of confidence to go out in the world. I mean, no one wanted to look or touch or date me at my highest weight. You know, certainly most people, their time at university is their time to explore, to try things sexually, to do all these things. And I just simply accepted that people that I wanted to sleep with didn't want to sleep with me, and the people who sort of would sleep with me, I didn't want to sleep with. And I got professional help. It was quite expensive. I had insurance to help me with it in the United States, but I think all in all, it's probably $15,000 or $20,000. That's not including what I think I paid maybe $4,000 or $5,000, and insurance kind of covered the rest. But it's, I was having trouble sleeping. I remember I woke up one day. It was really hot. It was in the summer, sweltering heat, and I couldn't breathe. Like I had so much weight on my chest, and I couldn't really breathe. So I got some blood work done. I went for like a sleep study, and they were like, "You don't sleep. You wake up every 3 minutes. You're about to be diabetic within a few years. Your blood work looks awful." Long story short, so then I get the surgery done, and then a year later, I'm about to depart for China, and I go for this. I go for some blood work, and they were like, every category is perfect. Like, you're in perfect health.
Wow.
I think people in Vietnam are quite thinner, but it's certainly with the introduction of Western fast food, Popeyes and McDonald's and Burger King, and if that's all you eat, and certainly I see kids. I would never want anyone else to go through what I went through. I remember I was at a party at university, and I was honestly just trying to ask this another person. I knew he was gay, and we were just talking about normal things, then I started to ask him about sort of gay specific topics, and he very quick just like kind of was like, "Oh, I gotta go over here, I gotta go." So gay people come in all shapes and sizes. We look all sorts of ways, and obese people, hairy people, non-white people, Asian American or Asian people abroad get a lot of discrimination on certain dating apps. They will say, "No fats, no femmes, no Asians." And sometimes they'll say no black.
They have no idea what they are doing to other people because they are so selfish.
Yeah.
I'm curious that some of us fight or a bit when we're in school or in family.
Yeah.
How about you?
There were certainly moments. I think that to know that you have a gay child, but I would say there were times where it would just come out in bursts. And so if I wanted to watch something that was more like a reality show or not sports related or whatever, that could become contentious. But ultimately, they gave me space to do the things that I wanted to do, and they still do. It helps that I'm 9,000 miles from where they are, and I can sort of live the life I want to live here and not worry I'm going to bump into anyone or
Anybody you know who's going to tell your mom?
Yeah. Ooh,
Did you ever fully come out to your mom and dad?
Yeah, I have. It was quite boring, and it was quite uneventful. Things have come up from time to time. They've never asked about it. They don't talk about it. I don't foresee them ever going to like a gay pride parade and waving a rainbow flag, but one can hope that they will sort of progress to a reasonable place. This is the last time I was back in America. I met my mom for dinner at a restaurant. She said, "What'd you do today?" And I said, "I went to the doctor for some medical tests." And she said, "Oh, what kinds?" And I said, "Well, sexual health." And she said, "What do you need that for?" And I said, "Well, just making sure everything's good and it all came back fine." And she said, "Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that happened." Yeah.
Did your mom ever catch you with a guy before?
No, not in the action, but one time I was hanging with a person that I was seeing, and I hadn't really, like I said, I kind of give them space, and I wasn't really talking about it, but she was like, "I need you to get this thing for me, and I just need it right now." And I was like 5 minutes away, and I wasn't gonna say, "Can you get out of the car? Can you get in the trunk?" or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And so, I said, "Oh, this is my friend, but it's all right, it's fine,
So she got into the car with you.
Yes, yeah.
Gay friend.
And this is my bud. This is for buddies.
This is my buddy.
I'm quite good. I'm quite sly.
Quite a sly
I'm
guy,
quite
hey?
yeah.
Would you call yourself a very experimental person? Not.
Oh, yes, of course I'm experimental. I'll try anything once.
Okay.
Okay, so when did you experience your first love?
I dated this person a few years ago, and he's such a wonderful person, but at the time I knew I was going to be moving to Thailand, and so I kind of held back, and I think if I'd never left America, we'd probably still be dating. But
So he was an American guy.
He's an American. He's actually Cambodian American. His parents were like refugees.
So you're very close to Cambodia at the moment. Have you ever experienced any Vietnamese?
I've dated, yes, I've dated Vietnamese. I quite like it, yes. I think everyone should have an equal opportunity chance with Parker. But
Equal opportunity with Parker.
With me, I'm an experience. But I don't really date white guys. I don't know what it is. I just.
Let me explain to you. This is called yellow fever. Okay.
Have we got it?
I have yellow fever. You have yellow fever, and this is the case where you experience love within the Asian community, and you don't ever want to go back. So you stay within the Asian community.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The Vietnamese are wonderful. I probably had the best success with Viet Q.
Viet Q.
Guys who've
Do you understand the word Viet Kieu?
Yeah, Viet Q means
Vietnamese overseas.
Yeah, Vietnamese that's overseas.
Yeah. I just want to ask about your.
I'm gonna give him the hard questions now because I'm always asking the personal questions.
You're like a open-minded guy. And how about your sex life?
I don't bottom. I refuse to bottom.
He's never at the bottom.
Saigon's bottoms, hit me up. I mean, some people are versatile. Some people like both. Some people like. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. You can like. I don't particularly enjoy it. I've done it a few times because I'm not. Well, I am selfish, but I'm not that selfish. If it's someone I really.
Of course, and if you want to have a good relationship with them.
Yeah, and not every. I mean. You know, you find someone, and I think you should just find someone and not worry if they're a top or a bottom or versatile. Make it work and do what they want, and that's what I would say. But
I think that is not such selfish because you can choose what makes you feel comfortable. That's not selfish at all.
Yeah, I'll try anything once, mostly. As long as it's not too painful or causing harm. I don't want to go to the hospital, I'll put it that way.
Oh, so have you heard of BDSM?
Of course.
And BDSM is more of like
Aloshka.
Sorry.
I'll do anything once. Put it that way.
Myself too. I mean,
some people
I've also done some BDSM.
Yeah, some people like it. Lots of people like daddy and son. Some people want to be... I take care of myself as well. I take PrEP. I do take PrEP.
Oh,
What's PrEP?
Cool.
PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis.
What's that?
It's a funny ask.
I know that.
I don't know what that is.
It's a pill that you take every day, and it puts you at about 99% chance that you could not develop HIV. You could not develop an HIV infection. Yeah, I'll put this. I also use condoms consistently every time. So most doctors would say that I probably am not the best candidate for it, simply because the best candidates are people who never use condoms or sometimes use condoms. But there's only been maybe 2 recorded cases of someone developing HIV on this medicine. It essentially blocks the replicating enzyme of the virus. So for the virus, should the virus enter your body, it just simply catches it and it can't replicate and then it dies.
Oh, lovely. Do they have that in Vietnam?
Yes, they do. And in fact, the US taxpayer, if you are a underprivileged or lower income Vietnamese person, US taxpayer has kindly paid for you to have it for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I pay about 800,000 dong per month, so it comes out to about $1 a pill.
And that's just for HIV, or does it stop other STDs as well?
Only HIV. That's why you should also use condoms.
Okay, Ling, from now on and ever after, every single private question, you have to deal with it.
Why?
Because I can see your attraction on that, like BDSM or...
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Okay. Can you compare the Vietnamese community life in the US and Vietnam?
And I would say like in Vietnam, my feeling is that like family is like extremely important here. And as well, like I know when the Tet holiday was coming up, like people were talking about like kind of like the things they were going to talk about with their families when they went back, and like, oh, did you know my kid went to like the science Olympiad and they like got like first place, and like those accomplishments, like I can see how they translate into the United States, or like into that like sense of like we need to be like the best, we need to be number one, like we're gonna come and accomplish it. Because there's like, I would say, having lived in 3 Asian countries, like I would say Vietnamese are quite like industrious and quite like good work ethic, but also quite happy and quite like quite involved in like whatever they're doing. Especially like students, like they're quite ambitious. The model in Asia for the LGBT community is Taiwan. Taiwan has legalized gay marriage and even things with gender. They have a gender-neutral school uniforms now.
I saw that.
Yes.
Boys can wear dresses to school.
And so it allows people, boys who want to wear dresses, people who are gender non-conforming, people who are trans. It allows them, even if they don't maybe want to come out so quickly, it allows them to express themselves, certainly as young people. You know, these ideas, like Eastern culture, Vietnamese culture, Chinese culture, whatever, can coexist with progress on LGBT issues, that you don't have to stay in the closet, that so many gay people have been at the receiving end of a punch, a baseball bat, or whatever, hearing that word. So many people, I mean, have committed suicide thinking that word because they'd heard it so much, that they were belittled, they were told, you're nothing but this thing, you'll never be happy, you'll never have X, Y, or Z. And, you know, we have an epidemic, I mean, it's in the United States, but of gay people around the world of self-harm. And self-harm can take a lot of different forms, but certainly suicide, cutting, things like that, because they hear such negative and ugly things. And it takes part of curbing homophobia or transphobia or biphobia, any of these things, is just coming out and standing up for yourself and standing up for your friends, even if you're not trans or gay or bi or whatever.
But also doing so with safety. And not forcing it upon whoever you need to come out to.
No, sure.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Any future plans for Vietnam?
I'm going to sign another contract with my company, so at least one more year. But I'm having like the time of my life here. It's a really fun city. I don't feel unsafe at all here. I feel like you can hold hands with a boyfriend and walk down the street, and yeah, maybe someone will say something, but generally it's a live and let live place. It's a place that I want to live, and I think a lot of other gay people want to as well, because it's open and accepting. And like I said, it's a city that just feels like it's coming up. It doesn't feel stagnant or stale or dying. It's a new place, and it's fun.
It's one of the top 10 startup cities in the world.
And you have so many people coming here from so many different locations. I mean, I love where I'm from. I love the city I come from and the people that I know, but I love having friends from South Africa and Ireland and India and Japan and Canada and everywhere. So it's a great melting pot, and I can eat as much Vietnamese food as I want. That's a big draw as well. And Vietnamese boys. Did I say that? All right. Anyway.
So do you have any message to share with the LGBT community to have a happy life?
That's a good question. I would say the best thing that you can do for yourself is to come out, do so safely, but live your authentic life. Even if right now, maybe it's going to take a few years, maybe you're not in a financial place, maybe you're not in a physically safe place, but come out, live your life. Don't worry what you look like. Just know that there will be a community there to welcome you and accept you, but you got to seek them out, and you don't have to struggle or live in pain. There's a community. It's not 50 years ago. There's people here to embrace you and love you, and you can have a chosen family. That's a big thing in the gay community. Is maybe mom and dad, maybe they don't understand, but you will have friends who will love you unconditionally.
Now you say goodbye because I asked all the difficult questions.
Okay, thanks for coming with us today and share your stories and your emotions.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. You can check out our show on YouTube channel MCV Media or Come Out LGBT Vietnam at 8 a.m. every Saturday.
And don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel to see more awesome videos. Now, we have to say goodbye and see you then.